Hello, today we are looking at the Bizarre Sitar. Now I have looked at sitars previously on the channel. It was the Sitar Resonance by Sample Science, but what a lot of people said was it didn't quite sound like a sitar, and I have dug through the internet to try and find a free sitar that sounds good, well, at least in the traditional sense, but I haven't found anything yet. As soon as I do find something, I'll make it available to you guys. But for now, we have this Bizarre Sitar by Sound Iron. Now, it's not free, and it does require you the full version of Kontakt 5.5, and it costs $39. What I can offer you is a 5% discount on this product if you use the code JoeBlogComposer. I have an affiliate link in the description, but this will be an honest review of this product. Now, this is not a traditional sitar, as the name might suggest. It is a bizarre sitar, and what I really feel the point of this instrument, yes, you have these pluck sounds and these bowed sitar sounds, but really it's layering it up with the ambience. It's layering some of these pluck sounds, it's adding in the sub-synth, there's other little bits to it, building up this sound, using arpeggiators to create something unique and beautiful. As I said, it's really not, I feel, a traditional sitar, and you might be able to use it as such, but results may vary. But let's jump into Kontakt. And so this is the instrument in question, a quick walkthrough of what we've got going on here. So as I said, there's 4 different layers. Here's layer 2, layer 3, layer 4. First layer is your pluck sounds, second layer is some bowed sounds and some effects, while the third layer is this Sitar Ambience, 4th layer sub-synth, which is a really cool, just pure synthesizer. You've got different wave forms you can choose from. Now you can turn each layer on with the dot next to them, or on or off, use them as standalone, etc, etc. You can also do this little cool thing. You can assign them to a fader A or fader B, which is this little thing here, and kind of go between the different sounds, and that's where you really get quite creative and you really get some really unique textures from this product. So for example, well, I'll show you later, we can assign layer 1 and 2 to fader A, layer 3 and 4 to the fader B, and go between them, and you'll see what I mean very shortly. Other things we can do, there's this drop down, and there's a filter and an ARP built in with a load of presets, LFO. There's an effects rack where you can add no end of different bits and bobs. There's already a reverb baked in there. Now if we go back to the performance patch, down at the bottom we have swell, attack, offset, release, vibrato and filter and pitch, so you can maybe have layer 2 an octave higher than layer 3 when you're playing, which is a really cool feature as well. So that's a very basic overview of this plugin, and we'll quickly go through some sounds. But as I said, the point of this, I feel, is really getting into each layer, layering them up and creating something interesting, unique. So we'll flick through what we do have, and there is a lot there. So starting with the plucks. And you will kind of note as well, if you hit a note quite hard, you have almost this detuning sort of effect. There are some velocity layers there. There are some round robins there. So that's pluck 1, well, pluck note 1. That's note 1, note 2. Note 3, note fast, well, strum 5th fast. If that's something you're into, there is another version, but at the medium. There's one that's slightly slower. So an interesting effect if that's what you're looking for. Strum 5th loose, strum unison fast. And then there's a unison slow, and then there's some ones with the mod wheel that controls the speed, which I really like, especially this next one, the strum unison mod wheel speed, because because you can really control it there, and I feel it kind of negates the need for some of the other ones, but I really do like the fact that I can control it and add a bit more character to that sound specifically. And that's the Plucks. If you actually look at layer 2, we'll turn layer 1 off. We have bowed shorts, bowed sustains, interesting stereo effect there. We have bowed tremolo with the mod wheel controlling the speed. Really cool effect for like horror, I feel, and there's a second version of that. I like the fact they have multiple versions because you might not like one and so prefer one or the other. Or prefer one over the other, I should say. Also, you got some bowed tremolos, which on the lower end have some proper finger scraping effects, I feel. Definitely interesting for sound design. There are some threat mutes, which with combination with the Plucks and with a Sub-synth, some ambience, can create some really unique sounds. So I'm going to leave that on there when we finish with this layer and mix it in with some others in a bit, because you'll see what I mean. But we do have some fret scrape notes, and they are pitched, interestingly enough. And there is another version and a third version as well, so plenty to choose from. And 4, 5, 6, plenty there. And bridge effects, I really like how close and intimate. It's an interesting one and quite random, but really feels up close and personal, and especially down at the bottom, quite a horror. Now moving on to the effects. There's a couple of different ones, depending where you hit on the keyboard, but again, very interesting and unique sounds there. And then we're back at the beginning for that layer. Now the ambient one, there's quite a few different patches. I get the very 70s, 80s sort of vibes with these, but all, you know, stemming from the sitar. And as I said, really nice when you layer together with other things. Let's flash through some of these sounds. So interesting there. Now we have some more bizarre ambient sounds. And we're back at the beginning with those. The Sub-synth, as I said maybe at the beginning, is simply just different waveforms in the purest form, but I absolutely love just a pure sine wave. You do have to add a little bit of attack, because if we actually swap to it, you do have that click at the beginning, so just adding a little bit of attack there softens it. But I feel this is a really good foundation to start layering up sounds, which is why I kind of rush through all those sounds and effects, so we can get to this point now where we get a little bit more creative, and I feel use it, this plugin, for its purpose. And so that, I feel, is going to be my bass sound there. I now want, of course, to turn a bit of a sitar on, so we're going to have a Plucks. And then, as I said earlier I really liked the fret short sound. And I'm going to turn that one on fret mutes. And then I think just to add a bit more interest, I'm going to add an art. We'll just use the preset. See what I mean? Literally, I think that took me, what, a minute of just adding little bits on. And this is where this product really blossoms, blooms. Is not really in the traditional sense of using it like a traditional sitar, but adding these different layers and different sounds and mixing them together, putting some arps on it, and it's all in-house, all within the plugin. Very easy to do. And, well, but let's add something else. Might as well just turn that on with the ambience one and see what happens. And I think as well, this is a bassy one. Let's put that on A. Let's put layer 3 on B. And this is our mute. So let's put that on B and then put that one on A. I'm going to use my mod wheel to control going between the two sources. And now look at this sound right now. And already we're building some lovely textures and sounds and just all mixed in together. And of course you can fine tune your sounds a little bit better and even add some effects in the rack, maybe increase the size of our reverb or even decrease it and add some delay and EQ if we really wanted to. I'm going to put a little bit of delay on there. But you could do, I feel, so much. Oh, and there's even some presets in there as well. Event horizon. What happens now? Let's see. Not what I was going for, but it's such a creative and inspiring plugin that just takes a sitar and makes it, as the title say, a little bit bizarre, mixing in some synths and ambience and I guess some more non-traditional uses of the sitar. Now there's one last thing I want to cover before we end the video. There are some custom effects presets that actually come with it. They're in the instrument folder of the library. You've got the actual sitar standard bit which we've been playing with, but then there's a folder full of presets. I wonder if I drag that on, if you could see that. There you go. So look at all those different effects and no idea what they're going to sound like. So let's just drag and drop and see what happens. Murder Mystery sounds rather interesting. But these are just things they've made. Is this just the Sub-synth? So that's Murder Mystery. What else is in there? Tambori Drone B. Let's have a mess with that. See what that sounds like. A little bit on the quiet side for me. What else? Bagpipes pad. This sounds unpleasant. I love bagpipes, but So I think we'll leave it there. There are about 20 different effects in the custom effects preset folder, but we've had a good look at the actual instrument and seen what this instrument can really do. As I said, it's something where I feel you need to build the sound up. It's not just plug and play as such. It doesn't really give that traditional sitar sound, and I don't think that's what it's trying to do. It's a bizarre sitar. It's something a little bit on the crazy side, that at the same time it is inspiring, and you can really create some very interesting textures and sounds, but definitely a bit of fun. And I've hoped you've enjoyed this little walkthrough and review. As I said, if you want to get this, there is a 5% off coupon in the description, as well as a link to it. But thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.